we managed to do a lot during this period, especially promoting bilateral relations, official exchanges, and also developing legislative basis for cooperation in between two countries. So only one example, during last 5 years we have signed more than 10 intergovernmental agreements covering different areas for cooperation, meaning that now we have better conditions for bilateral exchanges. At the same time, I hope that during this period of our diplomatic relations, Korean people started to know where Belarus is and what Belarus is, and I hope this provide basis for our future very wide cooperation.
One particular area that I understand both our countries have been working very hard in is the area of the scientific fields. And Belarus is very famous and renowned internationally for the level of research that has taken place among your scientists, 30,000 scientists conducting researches on natural sciences and applied sciences and, biotechnology, nuclear physics, and the atomic energy, just to name a few, solar energy as well. What might we do to help encourage the bilateral scientific cooperations?
So Belarus is known as a scientific and research center in Europe. Even being part of the Soviet Union, we were famous about science and technology. And nowadays, Belarus is continuing to develop new technologies, new ideas. The only problem is that we are very good in theoretical science, but we still need cooperation with countries like Korea, who are very good, which are very good in applied technologies, in practical implementation of technologies. That is why we are very much eager to share with Korean companies and institutions with our technologies. A good example of our scientific cooperation was last year when we held Days of Science and Technologies of Belarus in Korea. That was a very good chance for Korean companies to see new technologies from Belarus and to see the areas where we could have joint research and scientific activities. So I think that to promote further this cooperation, we need more efforts on the level of government, because as in every country, science needs financial support, and usually science is supported by the government. So we need to agree on the level of the government how jointly to promote bilateral scientific and technological cooperation.
Very interesting. A lot of exciting things ahead of us. Now, I'd like to divert our conversation to the arts. And I understand that with Belarus being a place where Western and Eastern cultures, Catholicism, Greek Orthodoxy are intersecting, there's quite a diverse culture representation there. And this resonates throughout your art. How is your government supporting the arts? Our
culture and arts are among the priorities of the government activities, because really Belarus has a unique situation when we are combining different traditions and arts which relates to religion. You mentioned about Catholics and Orthodox, which are two main religions in Belarus, and we are following both traditions. At the same time, Belarus is combining all traditions of European culture and arts. At the same time, we have experience of having classical cultural traditions and arts from the times of the Soviet Union. For example, our National Ballet Theatre is well known, and even during Soviet times it was considered one of the best. And nowadays it is also among the best.
Of course, yes.
Another good thing is that in Belarus we have many famous artists and representatives from culture. You know the famous name of Marc Chagall?
Yes, of course.
He was born in Belarus, and he is considered part of Belarus culture and arts. And we have many other big names in Belarus who are providing that we need to support our diverse culture and traditions in Belarus.
Fantastic. we look forward to learning more about your arts and the origin of all these famous people as well from Belarus.
Yeah.
Now, Ambassador, what about the cultural exchanges between our countries? Do you see this prospect as being something very positive?
Oh, cultural exchanges are very important, because having active cultural cooperation, we are providing that people know more about our countries. That is why myself and Korean ambassador in Belarus, we are putting efforts to promote cultural exchanges as much as possible. For example, every year starting from 2005, we are having performances of Belarus ballet in Korea, which is a great success, and it is always taking part during Christmas time, becoming very popular occasion for Korean people. At the same time, we had performances of folk groups from Belarus during High Seoul Festival. Korean ambassador in Minsk is planning to invite B-Boys group from Korea, which is very famous, and we will have an opportunity in Belarus to see modern culture of Korea.
Yes.
And also we are trying to promote different types of exhibitions and cultural exchanges to know each other more.
That sounds very exciting, and I'm sure that on both ends, cultural exchanges will be well received. What about bilateral relations? How do you feel we can further strengthen our bilateral relations?
Of course, bilateral exchanges depend a lot on official exchanges between the two countries, and we hope in the nearest future to see President and the Prime Minister of Korea with the return visit to Belarus, which will be not only a political occasion but a good chance to show our business people that the relations between two countries are developing, and they are developing in the right direction. At the same time, we are going to promote exchanges on the level of different ministries and agencies from both countries to have, how we call it, cooperation in different branches, including culture, education, and other areas. At the same time, we are planning to have national exhibitions, including Belarus national exhibition in Korea, to give Koreans more information about Belarus and more information about possibilities for cooperation. So the only problem nowadays is lack of information, and we are trying to overcome this gap in our bilateral relations.
Well, Ambassador, it's been such a wonderful delight today to meet and speak with you. Thank you for taking your time to be on our program today.
Thank you for this program, and I would like to use the occasion to wish all Koreans good Chuseok holidays and best wishes to all Korean families. And it was a real pleasure for me to meet with you today. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Ambassador. Perhaps it is the festive spirit of Chuseok that has helped to make our program today enriched and pleasurable in the many wonderful discussions we've had. We'd like to thank today the Belarusian ambassador to Korea, Alexander Guryanov, and Mrs. Rysitskaya, who have shared their time to be with us. Thank you for joining us here on Diplomacy Lounge.